Well, joining me in the studio now to discuss the weekend news is a reporter, John Watson, and of course he's been on the movie set this week. We'll find out a wee bit more about that and whether he was spotted by a talent scout. But seriously, we've got a bit of an issue with PKE contaminants.
No one else has really seemed to pick up on the story apart from New Zealand Farmer, where I first saw it. And this farmer in the Wairarapa found metal contaminants in his stock feed, in his PKE feed, reported it to the importer, INL, or International Nutritionals Limited, and they sent him another consignment of stock feed which had metal contaminants in it again. One of his cows died. He got a vet around to find out why. It turned out the cow died because of the metal contaminants. Goodness. And so INL said, if you will compensate you for the stock feed and for the death of your cow and production and whatnot, if you don't say anything to anyone. Oh. He said, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah. And they haven't, as yet, it seems, compensated him, even though he's invoiced them, they still haven't compensated him. Yeah. The interesting thing is, INL is owned by RD1 Limited, who are 100% owned by Fonterra. So we got in touch with Fonterra. They wouldn't comment to us on the phone or on camera, but sent us some statements, but none of the statements addressed they're trying to silence the farmer or whether he was compensated or will be compensated. So it's interesting that it hasn't been picked up by more people, and I think it's worth following up on that one.
I wonder if any other farmers have, of course, had any of these contaminants as well, because it would seem strange for one farmer to have it, and
Well, surely. I mean, this contaminated PKE feed must have gone to other farms. Yeah. Perhaps there were deaths. And farmers didn't know that it's because of the metal contaminants. So if you've experienced similar things, definitely get in touch with us.
news@countrytv.co.nz. Now the other one, of course, on the subject of Fonterra, huge week for them, big payout.
The big payout forecast. Yes, so it's still early days. I think only 2% of the total amount of milk for the season has been taken at the end of July. And and it's very dependent on the weather, but so far looking pretty good, being called a debt clearer. A lot of farmers will be welcoming the payout, of course. They would have got into a bit of debt buying stock feed during the drought.
Through the drought, exactly. Yeah, so it's perfect timing. Well, let's hope it comes through. And yes, the other question, of course, did the talent scouts see your hairy feet? And are you in the next movie?
No, I wish, but no, unfortunately. But we did talk to the farmer. Of course, you would have seen the story on tonight's news.
Yeah, great.
A real character.
Really
great guy. And talking to the scout that, or the what do you call them, the tour guide, who took us around. He had some really interesting stories too.
Amazing story, really, and such a successful business model.
Absolutely. I mean, when you work out the numbers, how much the tour costs and the amount of people going through there, it's quite a lucrative business.
Is it well worth a visit?
It is worth a visit, just to hear some of the stories along the way. The tour guide was telling us that they get around 20 marriages a year there, and around 4 couples dress up as hobbits for the ceremony.
Oh, there you go. There's an idea for your future.
Or when you renew your wedding vows, Mark, could be a potential prospect.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you. John Watson, our reporter there. Well, coming up after the break, Philip Duncan has a rather stormy outlook in the weather. That's right after this on The Daily Report.